What's up everybody, I'm Alex and this is something that the guys from Yeedi sent me. This is the Vac 2 Pro with oscillating mop and 3000 pascals suction power, so it has to be a decent vacuum, right? First of all, we're going to start with a quick unboxing of the vacuum to see what's going on there, to see what is included in the package, because the things that most people are going to ask for are the included accessories for the vacuum. So this is the box of the vacuum itself, and as you see, everything is pretty neatly packaged. Here you have a charging cable for the dock, also you have some documentation, you have the mop inside here, but we will take a look in this shortly. Also you have the side brush of the vacuum, so it can sweep some dust from the sides. And of course the vacuum itself. To be absolutely honest, I suppose that this is going to be a little bit bigger, but I think that it is a little bit better to be a smaller vacuum, and this is definitely a nicely working one, so let's check it out. On the top you can see that we don't have any LiDAR sensor technology or something like this. It relies on a camera, and this camera is going to support the vacuum when mapping and also when going under furniture. And because it doesn't have a LiDAR sensor, it will be easier for this vacuum to go underneath furniture, and it won't need that much of a clearance. Right after we pop the hood of the vacuum, we can see that we have an on-off switch, also a reset switch for the vacuum, and a Wi-Fi indicator. One of the greatest things when coming to robot vacuums is to have a multi-cleaning tool. This tool will allow you to scrape some dust from hard to get to points, and also you have a razor, so this razor will be serving you very well when taking hairs off the brush, because when hairs tangle on the brush, it will be very hard to get them without using the razor. The other thing that we can see here is the container for the dust, which is a decent size one. When we remove it, we can see that it has a red knob at the side, so this red knob is for opening it and cleaning it if you do not get the self-cleaning station. Of course, we have a dual filter system here, so no small particles are going to fly around in the air, and this will keep everything in place. At the bottom of the vacuum we can see few things here. First of all, it is very easy to remove the brush, and the brush is suspended, so you'll be wanting to have a suspended brush system for the vacuum if it goes on carpets or uneven surface or something like this. It is very easy to remove the brush from the vacuum also and clean it up. The great thing here is that we have very nice wheels, which wheels are also suspended, so this vacuum can go on and off carpets. You're going to want something like this because if the vacuum is only flat running, I can say that you will be having a problem, but in this case here you won't have any issues at all with these big wheels, which are very nicely suspended. As this is a smart vacuum, you can expect that it will be having some sensors. The sensors here are pretty straightforward. You have some down-firing sensors for detecting the floor and for detecting if it is going on a carpet, because if it is going on a carpet, it will try to evade the carpet. Again, everything here should be cleaned frequently if you want it to work properly, so with the brush that is included inside, you can brush the sensors so they are dusted off and they will be working as expected. The last thing that we can see is this removable part right here, and this part here is going to host the reservoir of the vacuum, and this reservoir is an oscillated vacuum system, so it will be scrubbing your floor. It won't be only dragging itself here and there, it will be scrubbing the floor, so even a little bit more dry spots are going to be cleaned. It is pretty straightforward also for connecting this stuff here. You just click it in place and you see that it stays right there. As I told you, there is another option for this vacuum, and it is the self-loading station, which self-loading station will serve as a dustbin for the vacuum, and you won't have to take the dustbin off and clean it every single time when the vacuum runs. So here is the offloading station of the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro. Again, here we have some quick start guide and a user's manual, and after this we can see that here is the station. You have to assemble this station because it comes disassembled, as it is a pretty big one. Here is the bottom plate of the station where the vacuum actually connects. Here are the ports for offloading the dust, and here are the charging ports. This is the dust bag that you are going to install into the station, and also you have a charger and a little screwdriver with 3 bolts, so you can connect the 2 pieces of the docking station. And to be absolutely honest, I thought that this thing is going to be a little bit smaller, but no, it is a big station. The good thing here is that it comes with a pre-installed bag in it, so you have one separate bag, and when you want to take it off, you just have to pull this blue thing and it will close itself automatically, so no dust is going to come off this thing. So now, as we have the vacuum here and the base station already built, we have to go home and test it out. And test out how it performs, test it out with dust, test it out on carpets, and test this oscillating mop, because the oscillating mop is maybe the most interesting part of this vacuum, because it will scrub your floor, and even if there's something dried on the floor, it should be able to take it off. The other thing is that you have to install the application on your phone, so there is an application for iOS and for Android also. And now I'm going to get home and see how this performs. Okay, so after I got home, I set up the vacuum and I started using it. I started using it for vacuuming and also for mopping. I have to say that there are a few things that are somehow as a disadvantage and some things that are a big advantage. I'm starting with the advantages. First of all, the best thing is that here you have a self-emptying station, so you won't have to check the container of the robot every single time that it cleans your house, your apartment, or whatever you are living in. Another big advantage of the Vac 2 Pro is the mopping system, because here we have an oscillating mop. And by oscillating I mean that the mop is moving itself, so it's scrubbing the floor. It's not only dragging itself over the floor, but it's scrubbing it. And this gives a result in better cleaning and also removing some dried stains on the floor if you have something like this. For example, if you have a wooden floor or you have tiles in your kitchen and you have spilled something, it had dried or something like this, the robot can go and mop this thing, and it will actually mop it very well, so the stain can be removed. Of course, it will not work with some very harsh stains that are left there for such a long time and they have dried and got themselves into the tiles or into the wooden flooring. But the oscillating mop is a feature that I really appreciate, because I have been using vacuums with just a regular mop without oscillating, and this one does a better job in my opinion. Maybe one of the issues that I have with the mopping system is that I have some carpeting on the hallway of my apartment, and all of the rooms are with hard floor, only my hallway is with carpet. And in this case, if I have installed the mop on the vacuum and I run it to clean the whole apartment, or for example to clean room 1, 2 and 3 without the hallway, it cannot get from room 1 to room 2 because of the mop. And it detects that it is going to a carpeted area and it won't go to the carpeted area. So for example, it has to go something like 50 or 60 centimeters on the carpet just to enter the other room, and it cannot do it because it's a carpeted area. Mop won't stop moving itself, and this is one of the main disadvantages of this robot in my opinion, that if you have a carpeted hallway, the robot cannot move itself with installed mop. So in this case you have to physically move the robot itself to another room, or you have to uninstall the mop and try running the robot only with a vacuuming. When it comes to suction power and only vacuuming, it has a 3000 pascals maximum power, so 3000 pascals in my opinion are absolutely enough when it comes to hard flooring and not carpet or things like this. We don't have any carpets at home except of the hallway, which is carpeted, but I have to say that even with the carpet it does a very nice job with getting out the dirt from it, with getting out all the hairs that are fallen on the carpet, and I can totally give a thumbs up to the suction power and to the vacuuming function of the robot. Even that it has only one side brush, it does a very nice job, and there are very few places that it didn't actually manage to get the dirt off, but they were in a very specific location. For example, in a very tight angle or things like this, it cannot grab the dust very efficiently. But if we are talking about even surfaces and for example just a regular room without any tight angles, it will do the job very nice. One of the functions that in my opinion is crucial for a vacuum is the obstacle avoidance, and here we have a 3D obstacle avoidance. So the front part of the vacuum has 3D sensors, also has a camera, and it can detect some obstacles. It can detect shoes, for example. It can also detect my tripod, as you can see from this video here, but not all of the time. So sometimes it moves the tripod a little bit, so it can go around it. Overall, I think that the obstacle avoidance of the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro is on a good level, level, but you have to keep in mind that cables are still a very bad obstacle and they can easily get tangled inside the main brush. And if they get tangled inside the main brush, the robot will just stop and you have to remove the cable and run it again. As I've shown you in the unboxing part, the navigation system here is a SLAM navigation system, which is located on the top and on the side of the robot. And here we don't have the LiDAR sensor. The LiDAR sensor is a little bit more advanced of a technology, but I have to say that this SLAM technology also does a very nice job when locating and being able to map your home. In my case, the vacuum did a very nice job with mapping my home. So for example, if you are having a living room without a door and only with an arc and it's connected to your hallway, the robot will separate it from the hallway and it will mark it as a different room, which is a great thing in my opinion. The mapping system is on a good level, and the best thing is that you have plenty of settings inside the Yeedi app, so you can control almost everything from there. You can control the not going zones. It's like a virtual boundary, so the robot won't go in the zones that you have selected. Also, you can adjust the sequence of cleaning inside your apartment. So for example, you can set your living room as a first room to clean. After this, you can send it to the kitchen, and after this to your bedroom, and it will follow this sequence, and after this it will go to its station. Aside of the many other settings that you have in the Yeedi application, you can set if you want the robot to do one cleaning or two cleanings. So for example, if your home is a little bit more dirty, a little bit more dusty, you can set it to go on two cleanings, but keep in mind that you have to check the water level of the mopping system so you don't let it dry. Also, another thing that I can give you as an advice, and the robot will say it to you too, is that after every cleaning you have to remove the mopping cloth from the bottom of the robot, because otherwise it can get moldy and it can introduce a bad smell, and this is not something that you like. The application, in my opinion, is very intuitive, and I didn't have any issues with navigating in it. I didn't have any issues, and I didn't feel the lack of any settings at all. You can set the sequence for the robot, which room is to be cleaned first, and also you can set some scheduling. So for example, you want your robot to run every Tuesday from 5 p.m. and you can set it in the application, and the robot will run every Tuesday from 5 p.m. so it will clean your apartment or home automatically. You won't have to bother with anything else. The only thing that you have to bother is to check the dustbin if you're not using the self-emptying station, because the dustbin can be filled, in my opinion, in 2 or 3 cleans, and you have to clean it up frequently. And keep in mind that you have to check for the main brush if it is tangled with too much hair, because if it is tangled, it will lower the efficiency of the cleaning brush. And these are some regular things that you have to do with the robot vacuum, and these are some regular things that you have to do even with a regular vacuum to check it out if everything is working on point. The application will tell you if anything needs changing, so for example the side brush or the mopping cloth or the main brush itself. Also, it will tell you if the sensors are dirty, so you can clean them up, and the navigation system can work flawlessly as the first time you took it out of the box. Overall, I can say that I'm very happy with the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro because it does a great job with vacuuming. It does a tremendous job with mopping because of the oscillating mop. I think it was something like 420 movements in a minute, which is absolutely great. This is the first time I'm using a vacuum with a mopping system that scrubs the floor, and I can say that it is a game changer if you have a little bit more stains in the kitchen, if you tend to spill some drinks and things like this. It will go and clean them very nicely. And the last advice that I can give you is that if you want your vacuum to work a little bit more efficient, and if you want to get less hustle into this thing, get the self-emptying station, because the self-emptying station will store all the dust. The vacuum can self-empty into it when docking onto the station and charging itself, and it will save you some troubles with cleaning the bin every single time. And I think that it does a very nice job. It takes up to 20 seconds to self-empty the robot, and I have heard way louder vacuums with self-emptying stations than this one. This one is on the quieter side. I'll leave you a link down below in the description to the Yeedi Vac 2 Pro so you can check it out. You can also check the other products that Yeedi are doing, because they are worth the money, they are quality products, and as you can see, I'm using such a product in my home, and this is my main vacuum now. Thank you for watching this video. If you find it useful, if you like it, smash the thumbs up button, sub to the channel, don't forget to ring the bell icon so you can receive notifications for upcoming videos, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye!